Okay, so this is going to be my first critique that I do of SuperLime. So, not sure what to expect. However, I do know what to expect from the person that he is fighting. He got to fight MKLeo. And, you know, since you are fighting MKLeo, he is definitively the best Smash player in the entire world. Obviously, going on Wi-Fi does change certain things. Like, you cannot play the same way you play on Wi-Fi as you play offline. It's just physically impossible with, like, the whole atrocious netcode that is enabled by Smash Ultimate. So, you know, he's still going to play really good, but there's going to be certain things that are going to be a little bit off. Just because you have to change your brain. You messed up your hand. Ooh, that's not good. Definitely hope it's feeling better. So yeah, I'm not sure who. Looks like they're playing Joker? Looks like Joker. Joker against your Duck Hunt? Oh wow, that's quite... I honestly was not expecting you to be playing Joker. Yo, the badges work now! Derp Duck's working. He talks to us like... That's pretty funny. Kind of looks like he's sort of some there. But he's probably just been streaming for hours, I'm going to be honest. Okay, let's talk about this matchup. Overall, definitely one of Duck Hunt's a little more rougher matchups, but not, like, terrible. I would say this is, like, a matchup that Duck Hunt loses. But it isn't anything, like, you know, absurdly insurmountable either. The main thing about this matchup is that, what am I going to say? The main thing is just, like, you do need to be aware of guns just because, like, he can use that to just, like, immediately, like, punish you for throwing out the can. Obviously, guns are not going to be as big of an issue against Clay Pigeon or Gunman. You're just kind of blocking them that way. But, like, specifically for the can spawns, they can be pretty annoying. The other thing, too, is the AGA. Those will also, like, be, like, instant spawn punishes on certain things. So the Arsene, that I think Aegon, that one's a bit more annoying because if you do summon a gunman and he throws that, that does punish you. So you do need to be conscious of that. Then not to mention that, like, if it hits you as you're pulling out the can, not only does the can blow you up, but you get, like, that guaranteed, like, 13% too. And that happens with, like, both versions of it. So you got to be a little bit careful with those things. But the other one too, which I would say is probably the bigger thing, because the other one's just, like, a normal, because, like, the other one's just, like, normal avoiding projectile style stuff. The big thing is the way that he's going to use Rebel's Guard. So Rebel's Guard, he can hold for a very, very long time. Basically long enough that you can kind of consider it indefinite. And you need to learn if he's going to be using that constantly or not. Sometimes Jokers don't really keep that as an option that they have in mind. And they'll only be using the reflector once, like, Arsene's out. Which it kind of makes sense. Like, if you don't really know how to properly utilize Rebel's Guard, it can be, like, a little bit weird to use. But, like, if you do know how to use, like, Mind Game properly with it, like, for example, the simple one that most, like, noob Jokers will use is they'll use Rebel Guards to absorb your projectiles. And if you aren't ready for that, they'll gain Arsene, like, really, really, really fast. So your main goal is to get them used to, like, using it and then baiting out the Rebel's Guard by dropping can right before it hits them. So then that way they're just left in the guarding pose and you can just get a free grab off of that. Or the other thing too is, like, if you notice that they hold it for a little bit and let go, you could even, like, punish that with a smash attack. But I would always recommend going for the grab just because, like, that's safe guaranteed damage. And if you set up your can properly, that's a free can combo too. So look out for that. The other thing too is if he does get you off stage, there's a pretty good chance he's probably going to kill you off an edge guard if the Joker is good. But sometimes that forces, it relies on them having Arsene. Because, like, without Arsene, they're not really killing you until, like, 140 a lot of the time. But with Arsene, you're going to die a lot earlier. So keep that in mind. Like, you want firm stage control in this game. So try to focus on getting center stage here. Then keep him off the ledge. And the thing is, when he does get Arsene, it's actually really easy to edge guard him. The one edge guard I would really recommend practicing for that is keep the can at ledge and then practice two-framing it with down air. Because, like, once you like get the timing down on timing the down air against Arsene's, like, up B, it becomes pretty easy to edge guard. If he doesn't have Arsene, most of the time he can mix up the tether enough that I wouldn't really say it's really worth going off stage and doing the edge guard, because I would say the risks are a little bit more in your favor than in his favor, unless it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, you know, you can get that guaranteed kill on him. Yeah, just like if you ever watch like Owl play this character or even MKLeo, I would say like the amount of things that they can do, like to just like kind of mix up the timing of their tether and like where they're going to recover with their tether, does make it a little bit insane. So I would say when he's without Arsene, focus on the ledge traps. If he has Arsene, focus on the different ways that you can edge guard him in that aspect. Just because it's like the way that Arsene naturally is going to work, it's going to just kind of put him in a bit of a tighter situation. But yeah, definitely the down air can, to catch the 2-frame on that. It makes your down air last for like 10 frames, so it's really, really easy once you do get like the timing down for that up B. But of course you have to wait for him to launch. That's specifically the timing you're looking for. Down air F tilt is going to be good for 2-framing. Just because, like, you know, it's out for 5 frames natively with, like, no can assistance. And with the can assistance, like, I don't know what the exact frames on it are, but that might be close to, like, 10 frames as well. So for that reason, I would also highly recommend that, too. It's just down air's going to kill a little bit earlier. Yeah. No, like, I would say, like, if you don't have, let me check exactly how it looks on UFD. Because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be in the same spot the entire time. Wow, actually, none of the images loaded. That's kind of insane. Yeah, let's just double check this real quick. Yeah, and I would say, like, this entire thing should be able to 2-frame. Because it doesn't really change too much. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Or is it 4 frames? 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 4 frames. So it can probably extend it to like 8. No, 4 frames is really meaty. Yeah, let's see what you do. You actually did the taunt at the very beginning. That's funny. Yeah, it's not looking good for missing a bear can that many times. And I think you did, like, perfect spacing by doing the Clyde Pigeon just to avoid the Ahon. That was actually kind of funny. That's good. Yeah, because Wario F tilt's really good for getting that 2-frame. That wasn't a bad roll setup that you had, just because you're covering yourself with can. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's really not worth it going for the can outs. Wow, that killed super early, but that was pretty deep as well. Yeah, so right now you're way too focused on pressing way too many buttons. You're not really watching your opponent at all. And yeah, your execution's just really bad in general. Like you're throwing attacks in the wrong direction, and like a lot of these are just kind of nonsensical too. That wasn't a bad recovery. That was pretty good. But like, okay, so like you have like one of the 5 main noob habits, which is you are trying to throw out as many attacks as possible, and that's it. Like you have no other game plan. Okay, you actually did like one thing where you sort of ran away. And the other thing too is this. So one concept that can be a little bit harder to wrap your head around, is that right now, all the attacks that you're doing is like throwing out where he is currently, but you need to think about where he's going to be. So let's say, let me see if I can find a good, okay, here. So let's say you didn't press can here. And let's say Joker was just standing over here. You have to think about not throwing an attack where it's going to hit Joker over here. You have to think about what's the next step Joker is going to do. So you need to plan for him either to come towards you, to stay in place, or to retreat. One easy way that you can cover both him jumping up and going back is like, let's say you were facing him and you just jumped. If you jumped, then you can react to him coming in by fading back and then falling down with like a forward air or a back air, depending how you're facing. And if he jumps this way, you can still react by going a little bit forward and back, by going a little backwards. So that way you can catch his attack and then hit him with a back air there. So like that's kind of one thing about like playing around the expectation of what they're doing next and not where they are. You're making it too easy. But what if you're playing Ridley? That's a different story. Man, were you going for the reverse hit on dash attack? Yeah, MKLeo was just not thinking at that very moment. Like, that was a very telegraphed F smash. You know, it's gonna throw it out every now and then. That was really unlucky. The only way you saved yourself too is with that can explosion. That Nair actually killed you too. Well, you don't have a C4. You just Nair. That is the Ridley game plan. But yeah, so overall, Super Slime, at least in that game, you need to think about, like, not just throwing out every single attack because attacks beat things. You need to think about what you're trying to accomplish in each moment of what you're playing. Because, like, having any attack hit isn't going to always be the best solution in every single scenario. Like, an easy thing to point to, for example, let's say you're attacking your opponent at like 0%, and you hit them with like an F smash. That's only gonna do like, you know, I think it does like 17% in total. Let me see. What is it? F smash does. Yeah. So F smash does 17% versus you could do a fair, grab, forward throw, fair, which that's going to do like 20 something. So not only is that second option a lot safer, but it also deals a lot more damage and it's going to throw your opponent a lot farther too. So you need to think about what are the options that I'm using at those lower percents and what are the options I'm going to be using at those higher percents. The other thing too is like I'm not really seeing a constructive plan being made out with all the projectiles that you're using, like particularly playing around with Can, playing around with Gunman and Clay Pigeon. It kind of feels like Clay Pigeon you're just using it to hit people, but at least I can recognize that you're doing it at a safer distance, so you're not throwing it out in the worst positions possible, so that I like. Can, on the other hand, is like you're kind of using it in every scenario possible, and that's not good. Like you're using it to combo break when it doesn't make sense to combo break with it because you're not going to die, so you're just giving yourself more damage. And you're just like kind of throwing it in a lot of situations where it's not good. Okay, yeah. So I'm from Central Florida. I haven't commentated anything in a while. Like Ultimate, I commentated like at the very beginning, but then I was sort of off air for a bit. But I did commentate at CEO. If you saw CEO, not Dreamland because I was in Japan at that time, but if you saw CEO last year, I commentated that. Actually, if you did watch Umabura, the one where Brood got second, I commentated that Umabura. So from like top 32 to top 8, you'll see that. Too much sauce, toned it down a bit. I wouldn't say there was any sauce. Like, you got, like, the tomatoes and the onions, and you threw it at a wall expecting to make, like, salsa. Fortunately, that's not how it works. Unless you were talking about the commentary that I did. Yeah. So, yeah, CEO. So, I did a lot more commentary back in Smash 4. So, if you watch the CFL SmackDown, I was basically the main commentator for that. I did the CEOs there. I did do CEO Dreamland as well, the first one. And then I also did SoCal Regionals. And, yeah, those are all the events I did. I also did a bunch of monthlies as well. But yeah, so, you know, definitely for you, SuperLime, I would highly recommend watching my beginner's guide again, just so you can kind of get familiar with the moves. And then watch my 5 tips for beginners. So that's probably the 2 best places to start first. Yeah, you kind of looked like you were playing on Adderall, I won't lie. Or cocaine. Cocaine's actually probably the better way to put it. See, like, okay, that opening right there was infinitely better. So you dropped out, you threw out the cannon, you threw out the gunman. Because, like, MKLeo was here, he didn't approach you. So it's fine to do those things. And when you thought he would approach you there, you did a jump fair. That was good. Like, it seemed like you actually had a semblance of what a neutral was there. So you're not completely, like, unknown to what the idea is. The first game, it definitely looked like that. Okay, that was good. You used the option to get them off you. Okay, This is good. So, all right. So right now, this second game answered everything from the first one. Okay, you do understand what to do in neutral. So, you know, you're keeping your distance. When he's getting towards you, you're doing like escape options, and you're not trying to instantly just try to hit a button on him. The last game, you were just hitting on buttons on him nonstop. This one, you're doing a lot more. Yeah, so unfortunately, like, because of you hit that clay pigeon a little bit too early. So that's the reason why he was able to break out of it. So yeah, and there you had to do an air dodge. You could have air dodged and pinged the can to save yourself. Ah, yeah. You had the right idea, but you didn't wait for it correctly. But I think you were trying to catch an air dodge. I don't think you were trying to catch the Rebel's Guard, which is what he did to you last time. I shouldn't say Rebel's Guard, the Makara-Khan. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, so at least with that thing, his dash attack is able to cross you up if he does it properly. So if you did keep that in mind, you actually had an auto clay pigeon combo after that, which is too bad. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, F smash on can's not good. Don't ever do that. There's only one scenario where you really do that, but we're not really at that point. Okay, good catch there. No, so don't do down throw at low percents. You want to do forward throw. Forward throw is the only one where you get the guaranteed combos off of it. Down throw is at mid percents if they DI bad. Ooh, you went for a big thing. Yeah, again, like over there, like the one thing that I know that you're not doing correctly is you're using smash attacks way too early. The only time you use a smash attack at lower percents, so at like 0 to like 10 to 20%, forward throw combos, 0% it's forward throw into dash attack from 0 to 10%, and then to like 20% you should be able to get fair still. So it basically is like automatically getting you to like 40%. But yeah, so like, yeah, one thing I can tell is like you're using smash attacks like way too early. Like you're mostly only using smash attacks to get the kill when they're actually at death percent. So the reason why you don't want to use it at this percentage is it stales them, so that means they won't kill as early. And the other thing too is they're way more risky, and you're not going to get that much of a benefit off of it. It's like you might send them far away, but then it might just reset neutral, and that's not really good. Like the only one that has some merit to it, I would say, is like down smash, because down smash can put them in a really weird situation, and you can at least play off the tech. Oh, what the? Yo, Wispe coming in with the clutch with 3 gifted subs. Wispe, thank you so much for all the gift subs. Really appreciate it so much. And I think that should put us, yeah. I don't know why it's only at, I don't know why Twitch only says only 4 subs still. It should be at 7 now. Maybe 6. I don't know. Everything's acting weird. It should theoretically go towards the new emote, but hopefully it does. But Wispe, thank you so much. Definitely be seeing you tomorrow too. I will, got an interesting drink that I'll be bringing over tomorrow, so look forward to that. Down smash. That's not really good advice, but there are some merit to it. Yeah, there we go. Now we got the 7 subs and the 7 sub points. So shout outs to that. Almost halfway to the goals over there. But yeah. So like, okay, here are the merits to using down smash. So down smash sends at a very precarious angle. So if you're at the ledge, like if you're fighting some characters with like terrible horizontal recoveries, you might just kill them at 40%. Like Little Mac's like the prime example of that. Even Ganondorf, you'll actually kill really, really early. The other thing too is it does low profile you. So when you do get that low profile, there's a lot of grabs that will actually whiff on you. So you might not be able to get like a free jab or a free like smash attack on them when that happens. And the other thing too is like because of the tech situations, you do put people in there. If you have a can set up, that can combo into that, and then you can get something off of that. Not only that, if you do it at the ledge too, because it sends you back and forth 2 times, it does mess up people's DI too. So you might kill people really early, like at 90% at the ledge. So that's something that can happen too. And but the thing is, it's still very laggy. and you're still going to be kind of punishable after that. Not quite that laggy though. So like the final attack is on frame 29 and the FAF is 57. So there's 28 frames they can punish you after that final attack. But the other thing too is this attack is deceptively large. So if you look at it, small, large, and then very large, and all disjointed too. So there are some merits to it, but you know, it's still a 57 frame commitment. So it's not something that I'll ever tell you to use a neutral, but there's certain scramble situations where it will catch your opponents off guards and you'll be relatively safe because you are low profile too. But yeah, in general, like if there's any smash attack you throw out, it's going to be that one. But in general, don't do that. Don't do that. But all right, let's continue. Yeah, see, like that smash attack just left you punishable because you decided to up smash your can for some reason. Yeah, you need to air dodge. You need to get ready to air dodge. The other thing too is you could have thrown out a can and then up beat back. But there's some janky things you could have done in that instance. Let's see. Do you get another game in here, or was that the last one? He looks so dead inside. MK Wash is like the perfect description of how he looks. Just looking at him, it's just like, I feel drained like that too. That does remind me. Can I add that? Oh, there's no way that he doesn't miss IRL events. I would miss IRL events too. Okay, looks like that was the last one. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, overall, okay, I'm very glad that you had both of those games. It was just that first game, I would have had a very wrong impression of you. Second game, so, okay, you at least understand the concepts of how to use these attacks. So for you, I would definitely recommend going into, watch the 5 tips for beginners. That's where I feel like you're at right now. I forget everything that I say in that one. Let me open up that document so I can just double check what I even say in it. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but from what I remember, it's like I can kind of tell. Okay, all right, yeah. So let's open this up. Okay, learn how to use fair. I definitely agree with that. I don't feel like I saw a lot of fair usage. I saw you using smash attacks instead in neutral. That is not good. Don't do that. Well, the thing is, you don't attempt high level. It's either you have the knowledge to fight high level or you don't. And you don't. You can't try. Like, going into Elite Smash doesn't mean you're high level. That means, like, you know how to upbeat to the ledge. That's pretty much it. No. If you're a good Duck Hunt main, you use fair. But, like, if you don't understand why fair is good, then you won't understand how to be good with Duck Hunt. So, like, to give you an idea of how safe fair is, you can outrange Game & Watch's up B out of shield. So that means you can hit Game & Watch's shield with fair, and if he does up B, it won't hit you. So it makes it really easy to, like, capitalize him when he's coming down and landing. You'll also be able to outspace Dolphin Slash. You'll also be able to outspace grabs as well, as long as you're using it properly. Not only that, it leads into grabs, and it leads into other combos as well, and it's very necessary for neutral, so definitely make sure you're doing that. Learn how to maneuver can. Like, the good thing is, like, your spacing to summon can is not bad, and you at least know how to use can in, like, at least a little bit more of an interesting way, but you really need to think about why you're using it in neutral and how you feel comfortable using can in neutral. So I would say watch this video and watch the can guide. That's for sure. I don't really feel like you weren't really using can to necessarily do like throws to it. Reset can wasn't really an issue for you. You just kind of let it blow up all the time. So that doesn't really apply to you because you weren't using can and neutral properly. But definitely, once you start using can and neutral properly, reset can will be important. And using gunman effectively. You had the spacing for gunman, and you at least were doing like shield setups for it. But you could probably expand your knowledge of that a little bit. Yeah, no. If you go to one of my videos, I'll link it real quick. God, actually, now I think about it, how old is that video on here? Might take me a second to scroll through. Actually, if I just go to playlist, that should be easy enough to find. Duck Hunt guides. There we go. Yeah. So this one right here, 5 beginner tips. Right here. So yeah, I have the Wait, I forgot to put. Oh, I hate my life. I didn't put this in there. All right. Let me see. Can view. Okay, good. That's all I need. Yeah, the landing lag on Duck Hunt Fair is very minimal. Like, it's only, yeah, 9 frames of landing lag. That's why it's really good. And can you believe that Duck Hunt Fair used to outrange Marth Fair? It was godlike. Duck Hunt Fair, if we had old Duck Hunt Fair with the new landing lag, we would literally have a Marth Fair that could do all these things. It'd be great. The only thing that was kind of worse about it is that the blind spot was bigger. Oops, that's the wrong Discord. There we go. Here. So I'll kind of do a brief comparison to it. So see, like, this duck stretches out all the way, and you're going to notice that the disjoint is much bigger because, like, the head on the duck isn't a hurt box. So that entire thing was disjointed. The issue is that there was a much bigger blind spot, which is right here in the middle. So you had to make sure that you're spacing with the duck properly. But frame data wise, it was the same though. So that goes out super, 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 super far. But if you compare it to this. So, like, you can see the hitbox is a lot closer, but the head is more of a hurt box, so it goes out farther. So not as disjointed as it used to be. And the blind spot is just a lot smaller on this one, but if you compare it to, like, this, like, oh, so big. So big. But, yeah, this little dead zone was very annoying to deal with, because each part only lasts for, like, 3 frames. Or 2 frames, I think. Yeah, it's 3 frames for each hitbox. Just work on your neutral strategy and don't use smash attacks in your neutral. Smash attacks should never be used in your neutral, especially when you're learning the game. But yeah, no. You know, the main thing that you should use is, like, learn how to use your cam properly, learn how to use your fair properly, and learn how to use your gunman properly. That's kind of like the core basic foundation of Duck Hunt. And once you get those parts down, then you can start expanding out to those things. But yeah, I would say those are the main things. Those are the main things you should probably focus on first. Do you have any other questions, SuperLime? Like anything specific? Ah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And the good thing is, like, the utility of Ultimate's Fair is, like, kind of the same. Like, the most important thing is just having less landing lag, I would say. Because, like, it's only slightly shorter than Marth Fair now. So it's still good. But honestly, now looking back at, like, the Smash 4... Okay, cool. Yeah, like, looking back at the Smash 4 Duck Hurt Box, I wish we had that. Because, like, if we had that, that would make up air work a lot better. And it would also make fair be a lot better too.